the kind you wear a tie. Button up from 9 to 5. I tried that life but said goodbye. I'm not always polite, but I get the job done. Who says the world can never be fun? I'm simply unprofessional. Simply unprofessional.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Simply Unprofessional. I'm your host, Webby. Joining me tonight, we got Devin.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Devin.
And we got Rob.
Hey, guys, it's me, Rob.
So, fellers, we don't really have a topic this week. We're just going to kind of shoot the shit, talk about whatever comes up, maybe even talk about what we want to plan to do for the rest of the month for SU.
We're doing for 2 weeks.
I kind of didn't mind like doing that for like last month, like having kind of like a layout. It seemed less stressful going into the week of.
It did. I mean, I definitely still did want to do Thanksgiving 1 and Thanksgiving 3. We can make those just one a week instead of stretching it over 2 and just watch both those movies and all that craziness.
That's fine. And I mean, we are in the month for Thanksgiving, are we not? So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be thematic. So why don't we plan to do that one? I mean, when is Thanksgiving? That's the third Thursday.
The third Thursday.
So that'll be the 18th, I think.
No, it's 25th.
Oh, it's 25th.
Yeah, it's always the last Thursday of the month. 25th is the last Thursday.
Well, then why don't we plan on doing Thanksgiving 1 and 3 that week?
That's fine.
We can watch like, one that week, and then we can watch one the week prior or whatever.
That works for me.
Because I don't know, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna be willing or able to handle that much excitement of 2 of those movies in one sitting.
I agree. I agree.
I think they're gonna have to be spread out for our own sanity's sake.
I agree.
But we can always do the one recording on both of them. We'll just spread out the watching of them.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do. I don't think we need to do 2 weeks worth of episodes for Thanksgiving. I really don't.
So I mean, this week this will be coming out Friday on the 5th. So this week will just kind of be like our setup for the rest of the month. So we got Thanksgiving 1 and 2. That's going to be for our SU episode for the 26th. So now we just need to come up with 2 ideas real quick off the top of our heads for the 12th and the 19th, fellas. Then we're good for this month too. Okay, Rob, what do we got? You're always saying that you want to do something other than movies or take a break from movies every once in a while.
Yeah.
You got an idea of when we could do for the 12th or the 19th? I'm putting you on a spot here, boy.
I know you are. I had no warning that I was supposed to come up with something, so...
Just off the top of your head. I would insert cricket noises here, but you know how I feel about crickets.
I mean, I would say we could do like a review of the games that we played for the Halloween stream, but Devin didn't get to try the new ones.
That's true.
You can still talk about that now.
Yeah, I mean, that could be something we do today. Just kind of discuss the games. And actually, you know what, Rob? Since I have you on the spot, I'm going to give you a little bit of a reprieve. Because the Halloween stream is your baby. It is something that you decided to do years ago to start up.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go ahead and tell the listeners, for those of them who maybe did come out and listen to a little bit of the live stream but couldn't stay the entire time, how did we do on the live stream? How was it overall? Plus, Devin wasn't there, so we can update Devin.
I mean, I think it went really well. We had a lot of fun. There's a lot of laughing. I didn't explode during Dead by Daylight. I got grumpy, but I didn't overall be like, fuck this game, I'm done.
You got
I did say I'm never playing it again.
Yeah,
but I
you did get
not
grumpy
in an angry
enough
voice.
where
That was more of a matter of fact. I was just like, I'm never playing this again.
Every year, and then you play it again.
Yeah, well, he got grumpy this year enough to the point where I told him I'm refusing to let him put it on the docket for next year.
But anyway,
Rob, I mean, I've said this before. Just because you put it on the docket, you can sit the session. You can sit that session out. You don't have to.
I am in control of this. I don't know how John is like, I did this Christmas stream, but I'm not going to be in half of it. I can't. I have to be in all of it if I'm the one that's in charge.
I mean, you can be there. I'm not saying don't be there. I'm just saying you don't have to be.
Right, you could be on the call, but not actually like participating.
Yeah, but then I'll be bored for 3 hours while other people.
You could be emceeing, watching people. I feel like you have fun watching Dead by Daylight. You just hate playing it. That's why I'm just like. I feel like you could just like bow out of that. Like,
see, but I feel like Rob, because like Rob started out loving Dead by Daylight. And I feel like when you just said that you think that he enjoys watching it, I think he's gotten to the point where when he watches other people play it, he just sits there and says, God, I wish I was this good. And then it makes him more frustrated and angry.
But Rob's not bad at the game. He's just bad at the he just acts like he's worse at the game.
That's what I tell him.
Like, you're fine at the game. Like, I don't.
No, I'm bad at the game.
You are no better than or worse than anyone that we play with.
No. People escape. I'd never escape anymore. That's besides the point. But if we're gonna get into this, the reason, because you're like, oh, well, you get frustrated at other games like Overwatch and PUBG, but you don't quit those. It's because even though I get frustrated with those games, I win every once in a while. It is no longer possible for me to win Dead by Daylight. I lose every single time. So that is why it drives me crazy.
Well, I mean, you also think of it, too, as if you don't personally escape the map, then you lost. But that
is how the game works.
No.
That's not how the game works.
If you die, you lose.
No,
it is still a team effort.
No matter how much you guys claim that's not how it works, that is how it works. If
you die and your death results in somebody else getting out, and collectively, like, your team, other people in your team get out, or two people get out in your team, like, yeah, that's fine. Like, it's okay.
No, because I am never the one that escapes, so I always lose.
But see, I honestly, though, like, I'm not gonna like dive into this. I'm not gonna I don't want to make you upset. I feel like, though, you get in to the first game, and then you'll have like a bad game where you won't survive the first game, and then the negativity that comes from that just compounds on itself every single game, and then by the last like 3 games, you're just actively pissing off the killer or just standing in a corner waiting to die. And I'm like, well, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy at that point, Rob.
Okay, whatever you guys say. Anyway, I was trying to be positive that we had a good stream, but I'm done.
No, I mean, we're moving on from the Dead by Daylight talk, but I mean, how was the rest of the stream, do you think? I mean, how much did we raise? What was our goal set for?
We did.
All right, Rob's just outright checking out.
We made money. We made more money than we expected. Yeah, it was good. I mean, like I said, I had fun for all of it. And I hope other people did too. The new games were all right. Actually, I thought they were both pretty good. But anyway,
I like the concept of Dread Hunger, but Dread Hunger really got to me under my skin.
It's more
or no. It was frustrating to me. So, for those of you listening who don't know, Dread Hunger is kind of like Among Us in a sense. So there's 8 people on a ship. And there are 2 traitors, okay? Not traders, but traitors. So they're avidly out to try to kill the rest of the crew or not make them fulfill. I mean, that's true. But they're out to either kill the crew or not allow them to achieve whatever objective is on that particular map. Okay. So, the first several times that we played, I was just a crewmate. I wasn't one of the traders. And there are different jobs on the crew. Like everybody has a unique task, or not a task, but everybody has a unique role to play. First off, take that concept, throw it right out the fucking window because it really does not matter. It's dumb. Because I wanted to be the cook, so I was like, okay, I'll cook for everybody. I'll go out, I'll help collect meat. This, that, and the other thing. Being a cook does not matter because everybody on the boat is just going to be using your stove to cook their own food anyway. And you only cook, I think as the cook, we found out that you only cook food 1% faster than everyone else.
And that's at the beginning. You can level up, which I think increases the amount of your special ability.
Okay.
So eventually I think you can cook.
But right off the bat, literally every time I walked into the kitchen to go cook food because somebody else on the crew was saying that they were about to starve, somebody was in the kitchen already cooking food. So it was like, okay, my job is pointless. So that kind of got to me. But then one game in particular came up, right? Where I think it was Avalos and Tamara were... Oh, no. Avalos was the killer. Or he was like one of the traitors. I had a super bad gut feeling that he was one of these traitors. Okay? We had already lost a couple crewmates or whatever. And I don't know what it was, but I just had a gut feeling he was a traitor. So I was talking to B saying, I don't think we should leave him alone on the boat. So we should probably go back. And then he overheard us because it's like all a proximity chat thing. And we weren't far enough away where he didn't hear us. So, like, he was like, oh, I heard you were talking smack. So I took out my cleaver and I just started attacking him. And then Tamara started screaming, saying that I was a traitor. But I was saying that I wasn't. And then I tried to throw him into, like, once I knocked him down, like he was crawling around, like in his dying state or whatever, you can either pick them up and put them in one of the medical beds and then they'll heal, or that's it. I tried to pick him up and put him in the jail cell and close the door on him. Does not work, because he could just open the door from the inside for some reason. Well, the second I knocked him down, I felt terrible. Because I didn't know. There's no voting process in that game. There's not like ring the bell, let's delegate, let's choose somebody that we think might be the traitor right now and put them in the jail cell for a little while, which I think would be a better solution to this. So I was getting frustrated. I happened to be right in attacking Avalos, and he told me that afterwards. But to me, it's okay. You have this task that you have to do as a crew. But if you feel like you know who the traitor is, there's nothing you can really do, because if you attack him, then either if you're wrong, you just killed the crewmate. If you're right, then everyone else is going to think that you're a traitor. And if you do attack them, if you're like me, I felt bad. Like I legitimately felt bad. So I felt like that entire game, the only thing I could do was try to complete an objective, which was damn near impossible. And I don't know, it really started irking me. Just the game in general. I wish there was kind of like a voting system where because there's a bell on the ship that serves no real purpose. So I wish somebody could run and ring the bell, and then everybody could convene at the poker table down below deck and have a voting process.
I mean, you could do that just yourself. Be like, hey, everybody, we need to figure out who the traitors are. Come, this is who I suspect.
Yeah, but where you're so timed on everything else and having to acquire food and how fast you run out of food and needing to go find coal constantly, I think no one else would come to the boat and have that conversation. I don't know. I mean, otherwise it was a fun and it was aesthetically pleasing. It was a nice looking game, and it ran pretty well. And I do agree that it could be interesting, but I personally think that there should be something else that you could do. If you do put somebody in the jail cell and close the door, it should lock. So even if you are the killer, if you're able to get out, and I'm just I just threw him in jail and now he's out.
Beating them up is what puts them in the jail cell.
Well, I tried. Well, yeah, you got to let them die though.
Yeah. And then they end up in the jail cell, and then they can try to either convince people to let them out or not.
Yeah, but I mean, then you have the whole crew wondering why you just killed a crewmate.
And then you would explain, well, I think he's the bad guy.
Yeah. I guess. I just feel bad attacking other people.
You kill other people all the time in other games. I don't understand why this makes you feel bad.
I don't know.
Because Webby doesn't want the responsibility. So if he is wrong, he doesn't want to be directly responsible for somebody not having a good time.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's honestly what it was.
Especially
because it was Avalos. I didn't want him to get upset. I think that's honestly 100% true.
I know exactly what it was. I know you.
People don't give a wick about upsetting me in Dead by Daylight, so why?
That is not true.
Well,
I 100% don't want to upset you in Dead by Daylight, especially Dead by Daylight. Because then it just spirals.
I really try to not upset you in Dead by Daylight, and then you just usually wind up getting mad and saying I'm either ignoring you or ignoring you intentionally or letting you win, and it doesn't count. And then it becomes an endless circle.
I know.
So usually when you go to Dead by Daylight, I just ignore you.
Although I will say, for Devin's sake, they did change some stuff in Dead by Daylight. So, like, when you're on the hook the second time, you don't mash the spacebar button anymore. Now it's a skill check, just like the generators. It starts off as a really wide range skill check, so it's pretty easy. But then each one after that gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
They probably did that because people were fucking up their keyboard.
Probably.
People were the keyboard and fucking. It was so easy to like. It's happened to me so many times. Where like you'll push it, but it'll because of just how many times you gotta mash it. It'll double count or it won't count. You know what I mean?
I almost wonder too.
I pushed that and nothing happened. God damn it! So I died.
I almost wonder too if they were having problems with like cheaters using like an auto clicker set to the spacebar.
I mean that's fine, but what does that really accomplish?
I mean that keeps you alive a little bit longer on the hook.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not like I would understand that. Like if you mash the spacebar 100 times, you get off the hook, kind of. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that would make more sense. But I mean, all that's going to do is just keep you alive. It's no different than someone just sitting here pushing the button, like pushing it themselves.
Right.
I very well think it's just honestly because if you have like after doing that so long, it directly impedes how many games you can play. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like think about like if every match you're doing that, like 3 matches in a row, you have to like you're mashing the spacebar for the full length of time before somebody saves you. Like, if somebody saves you at the end, by the end of those 3 games, your fucking wrist and your hand's gonna hurt like a bitch. You're gonna be like, yeah, I'm kind of done. I need to rest my hand.
Yeah.
You're gonna walk away. And it's kind of unfair for people who are playing on like controller, because I mean, Dead by Daylight is actually one of those games where like, yeah, having a keyboard and mouse is like useful, but it's not like. I don't think keyboard and mouse to controller in that game specifically is like super, especially because don't they have cross-platform now?
Yeah, no? I believe.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, they have cross-platform. And because of that, while navigating is easier on the keyboard and mouse, just mashing like the X button with your thumb is way easier than fucking slamming your spacebar.
Yeah.
So making it a skill check just kind of balances that across the board.
And then the other new game was for
Dread Hunger, I looked it up. You can get up to level 30, which for the cook, it increases your cooking time by 30%.
Okay, so having a max level cook is beneficial. You know, yeah. or having somebody who is the cook every time who's willing to level up that particular role. So the higher level one you are, the better you are. But I mean, even then, I feel like, especially with our group of people, like even if I went in there as like a level 15 cook, okay, which means that I cook 15% faster than everybody else, I still feel people would just be constantly in the stove cooking. Like, they're like, oh, well, I'm hungry now. It's like, that's handy. That's nice. But I have stuff that I also need to do in there. And it's like, I don't know. I think in addition to maybe increasing the levels increases your speed at something, I think each particular role should be able to do, like, so the cook should be able to take, the chunks of meat and make something that's unique that the other crew can't make. Like, I don't know if you guys had the capability of it, because I was the cook every time, so it was just commonplace to me. But like, I started off with a cup of a cup of stew, and I had the capability of making stew, which increased your temperature and your hunger meters. But
I just kept eating raw cooked meat or whatever.
Yeah, that's all anybody ever did. So I don't know. What was the other game that we played?
In Silence.
In Silence. Oh yeah. So this one was unique too. This one, the biggest scare that I had about this one was not even the monster. It was searching through items and having shit pop up at you, or the thunder when the thunderstorm started, because it would start with a big crack of lightning and thunder. It was super loud. So this game, Devin, is essentially, it's a monster versus 4 people. And the monster, if you're the monster, you have very, very limited range of view. And the view that you do have is very blurry. But you have a little compass on the bottom of your screen where every time somebody makes noise, either by talking to each other or whatever, it pings on your compass, so you know a direction that you got to run in to track these people down. The more noise they're making, your range of view opens up a little bit more, because you see by sound. The objective for the survivors on this side is to either get the code to the ammunition box and kill the monster, or to collect car parts for the broken down vehicle and then escape. Which we managed to do twice, I think. I was never the monster in the games that we played officially. I think Tamara was the monster like 3 times.
She loved that.
Honestly, I really think that we should have done something like not necessarily a rotational thing, but like, if, say, Tamara was the monster the first game, then she changes her skull to white so she can't be the monster again, to allow other people a chance at being the monster. That's probably how we should have done it, but oh well. But yeah, no, that game was fun too, I guess. Not something that I would play on anything other than probably like a Halloween stream. But yeah, stupid little fucking Jack in the Boxes when you open up the chests popping out at you scared the shit out of me.
Startled me every freaking time.
But yeah, so our Christmas goal, or our goal, our charity goal that we were trying to reach by the end of the Christmas stream was $1,000. And how much did we end up raising by the end of the Halloween stream?
1,126, I think.
So
there's 1,100s and something.
So we ended up meeting our charity goal just in Halloween. So that means we ended up upping our charity goal for Christmas to, I think, 1,500. And of course, everybody had like little personal goals set aside. Where if, like, I think John's was if we reached $1,000 by the end of the Halloween stream, or by the beginning of the Christmas stream.
Yeah, by the beginning of the Christmas stream.
Then he was gonna wear some maid cat maid thing. I don't know, some maid outfit, like a French maid thing. I was just like, I don't know. As a viewer, I'd much rather see John play a horror game than to dress up like a maid. But I don't remember what some of the other ones was. Devin, I think I gave us a goal for SU. I don't remember what the amount was. It might have been 1,500. Which, if it is, then we might be in trouble. I honestly don't remember now. John has it written down. But if we reach our goal by the end of the Christmas stream that I set out, then we will do an entire SU episode about Booster Gold, but in a positive light.
Okay.
So, talk about all of his achievements, and I won't badmouth them. So, that was the only goal I was willing to put out there.
Gotcha.
But, yeah. So we busted out on the fucking Halloween stream. We did a good job. I want to thank everybody who participated and all the people who came out and watched us and helped raise money for it, and everybody rocks. I even had some of the guild members of the WoW guild that I raid with came out and donated. They made me personally meet my personal fundraising goal. So that was neat. And now we have the Christmas stream coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, 2 things I guess I'm going to need from both of you. And we don't need it right now. I'm not going to put any more people on the spot. But stuff for us to think about is we do have an SU time slot. What kind of things, just us, off air, what kind of things we could fill that with, whether it be certain type of challenges again. I know the past few years we've done like hot sauce challenges, but we've changed up the structure on the hot sauce challenges, whether they be, Distractions Media Trivia, or we did that Hot Ones Challenge game that Rob ran for us last year. If there are any other things that we could do with similar punishment type things, just us to brainstorm stuff like that. And then we also need to brainstorm 2 SU topics for the next 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I don't know, like, it was a lot less stressful going into a month where it's like we knew what we were going to be doing and we just had to sit down and find the time to do it, rather than Devin messaging me on like a Monday night or on a Tuesday saying, so what are we doing SU on this week? And then us scrambling to think of something to do either that day so we could record it, Tuesday or Wednesday. But yeah. Anything else anybody wants to talk about? Devin, what have you been up to? Just work?
Working. I stayed up for 24 hours straight yesterday unintentionally.
Just for fun?
No. So I told someone I told my roommate I would help her go and buy. We'll pick up these. She bought like some vanities for her kids to like some like small like makeup desk / vanities for her kids for Christmas, and she's gonna get them. She's gonna get them like resanded and shit, and repainted. But I told her, she was like, hey, you mind helping me? Husband's gonna be at work. I'm like, yeah, not a problem. I can help you out. Well, then I got mandated the night before, so I told her I'd help her. That was at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I got mandated. I stayed all the way till 6. So I worked from 2 p.m. I woke up at like 10. Went to work at 2 on Monday. I got off work at 6 a.m. on Tuesday. By the time I got home, it was 7 a.m. I laid down, didn't fall asleep. By the time I laid down, text message, hey, you so coming? Yeah. All right. So I got up, got dressed, went and did that. Got back home. We got back home, I think, like 1:30 in the afternoon after we did that and ran some errands. And then she had a doctor's appointment she had to go to, so I was watching the kids. It's like my body knew, like, it's like the human body's real, like, it knew I had shit to do. I'm like, okay, I am responsible for two small children. Actually, I was responsible for 3 small children at first. 3 small children. I cannot fall asleep. So, like, I had all the energy in the world. Like, I cleaned the house, watched the kids clean the house and everything. And then, because she had 2 doctor's appointments, so she comes home again, and then she takes infant, her doctor's appointment. So I'm responsible for 2 small kids. So then I'm sitting there, I make them lunch, and then I make myself lunch, and then like an hour later, like 3:30, 4 o'clock, she goes back home. And literally the second she closed the door, I looked at her and I'm just like, I'm exhausted. And then I just like walked downstairs, closed my eyes, and I woke up the next day. Like literally, like the second I knew that she was home and and no longer was like solely responsible for 2 small children, I just immediately passed out.
Yeah, I think I had an opposite problem last night. Last night I went to bed pretty early, actually, if I remember correctly. I know I was falling asleep during an episode of Bones, and so I decided I was just going to go to bed. I only woke up a couple times in the middle of the night, but it wasn't like a restless wake up. It was like okay, I'm awake. Okay, it's super cold. I'm just going to go back to bed because I'm nice and warm underneath my covers. And I did that like a few times, and then I woke up, and I was up for a while. But I was just dog tired, like to the point where when Rob woke up, he didn't realize that I was sleeping in my computer chair, but he went to go say something to me, and it startled me awake. And he kind of came up with the conclusion that because like I have not been sleeping well, like to the point where like I've been going like days and days with just like an hour or 2 of sleep. And he told me today, he's like, maybe you're tired because your body's just like, oh, this is what sleep is. This is good.
I need more.
I want more of this thing. So, I don't know.
Yeah, man. You out here living being crazy.
So I've asked you this before.
I will.
And it's going to be a periodic, like I'm periodically just going to ask you this.
Okay.
You had to pepper spray anybody at work yet?
Not recently, no.
Damn it.
I mean, I have before.
Do you have any inmates get out of line that you had to, like, smack them around a little bit?
Oh.
Huh?
No, not really.
Oh.
You said you did have to mace someone before, though?
I have maced somebody before, yeah. Just not, like, recently. That shit sucks.
Okay, without naming names, are any of the guards or people that you work with like any of the guards on the Prison Break show?
I mean, yeah, we got a variety of people.
Like excessively commanding, like Bellic?
Yeah.
Man. Do you ever just wish that an inmate goes off on him and fucks him up?
I mean, nah, not really. I mean, like, as much as I'm not a huge fan of the guy, I still frequently go out drinking with him some nights. He's not a bad guy. He's just a different kind of person.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm periodically going to ask you about stuff that happens at your work.
That's fine. I don't care.
Oh yeah, how long do we have to wait? Do we have to wait a certain period of time to get a video of you being tased? Did we ever get that? I don't think
we didn't. I got it. I can get it now. I'm sure. I just don't have it. Like, actually, I can see if Zillage can email it to me.
All right. I know there was like a certain time frame that we had to kind of abide by.
I can get it. I don't have it. I can get it though. I know I can get it.
Not that I want to see. Not that I want to see a good friend of mine in pain.
I
mean, it would be funny.
I'm in pain that much. Like, I don't know. Like, I took it.
It was just like, it's fine. Take some things out of it.
I would do it again. I wouldn't do the stun cuffs. The stun cuffs are a bitch. I wouldn't do stun cuffs, but I would definitely do taser again. I wouldn't do it for fun. Like, I wouldn't be like, I'm kind of bored today. I'm gonna get tased. Like, I wouldn't do that.
There's a thing called stun cuffs that exist, and we never see them on TV shows. How is this possible?
No, because they're not nice. Hold on. See if I can find a demonstration of them. Because so to break down what this is, right? So what you have is what are a taser is shuts down your motor function temporarily. Okay, it hurts, but it's not pain compliance. If that makes sense. Like, you don't do what we want you to do because you're in pain. You do it because it overrides your motor system, and you don't have a choice. You lock up, and then you usually go to the ground, or you just stand still until it's all said and done, right?
Right.
Where stun cuffs, they don't lock up your motor system. It's just pain compliance.
It's
You
just
comply.
it's just electrical pain.
Yes, it's just electrical pain. That's all
Dude,
it is.
I do not have
It's
a good
just
relationship with
compliance.
electricity.
It's just compliance because it hurts.
I've caught a T-shirt on fire because of electricity one time, like that I was wearing. It's
I
not
had
good.
a key ring melt because I got too close to a thing. Power. Fuck, it's called? Circuit. God, my brain.
A transformer?
No, one of those things that has multiple plugs in it.
A
Surge protector.
surge protector?
Yeah.
Wait, you just got too close and it melted your key ring?
Well, I mean, I must have touched it with my keyring. It was I used to work at Petco, and we ripped down with the whole plaza was being redone, and for some reason Petco was like, "No, we're not going to close. We're going to stay open," even though the front of the building was ripped off. So they built all these like temporary fake walls in front of the building, and where our reptiles were kept were right at the front. So they cut off most of the room behind the reptiles where like all the heat lamps and stuff were. So you had to like put your back against the wall and like slide along the back of the wall to get to all the reptile cages. So apparently it was like it was too close to the power strips for the heat lamps and heat pads and stuff. And I must have touched one of the, because I had the keys on my belt loop, and the keys must have hit one of the power strips. And when I came back out and I tried to take them off, there was like the whole key clip was just melted into a solid ring of metal. I was like, well, I had to cut the belt loop to get them off.
Wow.
Like, luckily I didn't die.
It had to have been a faulty surge protector. There shouldn't be that much energy coming through a surge protector.
Oh, I'm sure.
Also, the electric cuff things, they go on your legs?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that, dude. I get Charlie horses that are painful. I wouldn't want those things going anywhere near my legs.
Yeah.
Fuck that. That guy did not look happy. Like,
No, it's just pain compliance. That's all it is. It just hurts.
I mean, to be fair, he also does not look happy, like, going into it. Like, he's trying to mentally prepare himself for it. And now, what is it? That guy just has like an activator switch where if that touches another part of your body, it triggers the cuffs, or
no. It just
or he was just there to catch the guy.
He was there to catch the guy, kind of, sort of, but also too, he has a like, it's just like a garage door remote button.
Oh,
like a little bigger than that. You just turn it on and activate it, or you can set it to like proximity. Where if they move so far away from you, they will activate.
Now, in what situations would you put those on, like, inmates?
It's kind of, they're sporadically used. They're not used all the time. Usually, if they're going to be used, they're used when like transporting inmates to court.
Okay.
Like if they're going to be physically in court, you'll have like belly chains and stuff on them. Or if you don't want them to have, like, for instance, if like the judge requests them to not have belly chains or handcuffs for whatever reason, then it'll be probably those.
All right.
Those underneath like their outfit.
Gotcha.
But, they're rarely used, but because they're not great.
Right on. So to swing the direction of this conversation a little bit, I posted something in the Discord, and I wanted your guys' opinion on it. Is a new Harry Potter movie idea of Adam Driver, which I'm guessing is the guy who played the
Who played what's his name in the new Star Wars?
In the Star Wars movie, the Han Solo kid, right?
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
I don't remember what his character name was.
Those weren't my favorite movies. They're not bad.
But
they're not my favorite movies.
That character or that actor, as a young Snape, going through his years as a Death Eater and his transition into Dumbledore's inside man.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally, like, when I watched the Harry Potter movies, I've seen all the ones that were released, but I never watched all of the ones that happened, like, afterwards. So, like, the Fantastical Beasts or any of the other ones like that. I haven't seen any of those. I haven't really... It's not that I haven't, like... I don't know how to say that. It's not that I don't want to see them. I just don't have a desire to go out of my way to see them when there are other things that I could watch. This, I think I would go out of my way to watch. I really enjoyed Snape, and I think seeing him in his earlier years, and I think that guy looks like a young Snape. I don't know. At least in that picture he does. So, would you guys see that movie?
Yeah.
We should write it. We should make it happen. We pitch the idea to whoever the hell made the Harry Potter movies. Devin's gone.
I'm here. No, I agree. I mean, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan. Like, I've seen all the movies. I enjoyed them, but they're never, like you said, they're not movies like you're not gonna see me like sit down and rewatch the movie. Same thing kind of with the new Star Wars movies. Like, if I'm like scrolling through TV and they're on, I'm probably not gonna stop to watch them. So I just really, I'm definitely not gonna go out and like start one up. I just don't. I'd rather watch something else.
That was like me a couple months ago. I was on our site that we watch movies on sometimes, and I was just like, I saw a picture of the Harry Potter movie, the Sorcerer's Stone. And then on that same page, it was the Hobbit movie, and I was like, okay, I'm in the mood to rewatch a movie here, but do I rewatch Harry Potter, which I've only ever seen once, or do I rewatch the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings series, which I've seen multiple times? And I ended up rewatching the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings series again.
I mean,
I don't know. I just,
in the same boat, right?
I don't know. I didn't dislike the Harry Potter movies. I enjoyed them, but I don't know. I guess there's just I don't know how to describe how I feel towards them. Like, I don't know what justifies like me not having a rewatch value to me as much as, say, Lord of the Rings. So I don't know. I'll have to go through and give them another go at some point, but
they're not bad. I mean, they're not bad. They're just...
No, they're not. For whatever reason, they don't seem to have replay value for me. Like,
hear me out. And this could be a hot take. I don't know. Young YA books, young adult books that become movies are usually very mediocre movies. Like, mediocre to good movies, but I'm never interested in watching them again.
Right.
And I feel like it didn't help that I felt like the Harry Potter ones, like, they dragged them on sometimes. But yeah, I mean, that's how I feel about a lot of like for instance, another one. I'll even say like about this, like kind of the same thing, like the whole Divergent movie series.
Never seen them.
It's based off a book. It was, I don't know, did they make the tape? Yeah, Divergent and then Allegiant, and I don't know if they're making a. Yeah, so it was Divergent. It was supposed to be the Divergent, Allegiant, and then Ascendant, and they never wound up making Ascendant. Ascendant was supposed to turn into a TV show at the last minute, but it also got canceled. So yeah, I mean, but they weren't bad, but I don't know. It felt weird for me having grown up kind of with the Harry Potter books a little bit. Like, I read them. I wasn't the biggest fan of them. My favorite YA books of all, YA book air quotes of all time, is still supposed to be getting made into a movie, and it hasn't happened yet. But I mean, I don't know.
Which
I just
one's
don't. I
that?
just don't. The Tales of the Otori, that whole series. I got into that. That is the book series that kind of got me into reading.
Speaking of book series, I just want to throw this out as a mention. One of my favorite book series that I've read, The Wheel of Time, is being made into a TV show. It's going to be an Amazon original, and that's coming out, I believe, the 19th of this month.
Be afraid.
Be afraid what?
My favorite book series was made into a TV series. It was awful.
Oh, well. I mean, they had put together I remember they had put together a Wheel of Time, like a one episode, like a pilot thing, and they released it, and I watched it, and it wasn't terrible, but the wife of the author, because the author has since died, the wife of the author opted not to have it be turned into anything. So I'm hoping that because they finally did decide to turn it into something and got the wife's approval, and then the author who picked up writing some of it, I'm hoping that the show is good enough that they put their stamp of approval and allowed it to be made. So,
yeah, I was about to say you are talking about the new Wheel of Time show, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because
I know, like, if I wrote a book, because I was in the process of writing a book for a while. I still technically am, but I just haven't worked on it in forever. If I wrote a book or a book series that became very widely, liked and received, and it was like a project dear and near to my heart, I don't think I would just like let anybody turn it into a movie or a TV show either. It would have to be meeting a very high bar for them to turn it into a movie. Because like you said, like I've seen lots of movies based off of books or TV shows based off of books that just, they fell short. And it's like they fell short in the dumbest like ways. Like they just, little things here and there that they decided to take, creative liberties with that were important to the story. Like, and they just shouldn't do that. Like I'm all for taking creative liberties. Like me and Rob sat down because he hadn't seen it before, but we sat down and we watched a King Arthur movie. And it's the one with Charlie Hunnam, Jax from Sons of Anarchy. And it's a very flashy movie. Oi!
Silly.
That is enough. You're grounded. Go to your room. It's a very flashy movie. And they really took the ball and ran away as far as like story-wise from the King Arthur stories. And they changed a lot of stuff. But, I mean, arguably, it was a good movie, right, Rob?
Yeah,
liked it. And I mean, it's just a matter of they took their own creative liberties and made a different movie out of it, and that's fine. But if you're trying to, take a story and recreate it from a book for the first time into a movie or a TV show, I honestly feel like you need to be real careful with what you choose to put in and what you choose to take out. I think things can be easily done and remade for things that have been around for so long, like the King Arthur stories. It's like, okay, I'm going to take this, I'm going to just throw a really weird-ass twist on it, and it's going to be my new King Arthur. It's like, that's fine. Everybody knows the story of King Arthur, to an extent, and it's been remade a million times. So,
and I feel like, going for a King Arthur show, I feel like a lot of the King Arthur movies have been getting arguably kind of worse with time. I feel like they can't it's kind of weird. Like I feel like a lot of the I guess, open source material, it kind of gets worse and worse. Like your King Arthurs, your Robin Hoods.
I really
feel
liked
like
the Robin Hood with the Russell Crowe.
That one wasn't bad. That one wasn't bad. But I feel like
they changed a lot of stuff on that too.
A while ago, though. Right, they did. But that one wasn't bad. But I feel like they've been getting more and more downhill. Like I feel like just generally, like your Robin Hood movies, your King Arthur movies. Like let's see, Robin Hood movies.
I think that was
like the one they had with,
made, wasn't it?
No, they had the one in 2018 with Jamie Foxx and fucking what's his name? Fuck.
Are you sure that wasn't Robbing the Hood?
No, that's
sorry, that was
Robin
racist.
Hood. Yeah, it was Jamie Foxx who played Little John. They should have cast Little John as Little John. I think that would have been hilarious.
Wait, who played Robin Hood? Who played Robin Hood in that one?
Taron Egerton. The guy from I think he played in Kingsman, didn't he? Yeah, the main guy from Kingsman.
Okay. Oh, I do remember that one now. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That one wasn't terrible. I mean, again, that one I feel like was.
It was okay, but I feel like you could have literally just like changed the names of the characters and just made it like historical. Like it wasn't a Robin Hood movie. It was just.
Well, I feel like they did with that Robin Hood movie, like what they did with the Charlie Hunnam King Arthur movie. They changed a lot of things on it, put a lot of creative twists of their own into it, and they just kept some of the main characters.
Right, which arguably means like, is it even worth naming it as that kind of a movie?
I mean,
like, are you better off just making a like?
I get what you're saying, but
I feel like you're better off at that point just making something else.
But those types of stories, I feel, at this point, can be completely outlandish and just thrown out there creatively because enough people know the story.
Right.
But if you take something like if they were going to make like a Dragonlance TV show or movie, you know, not a lot of people know what Dragonlance is.
You're right. You're right, but this is kind of my flip side argument of that, right? You're saying that a lot of people know the original story, so they can take liberties and do what they need to do to make like an entertaining movie.
Well, it's been remade so many times. Like the actual story has been told so many times.
Absolutely. But like, as far as like a Robin Hood movie goes, like your great Robin Hood movies, you have
Men in Tights.
I mean, I think that might be the highest rated one on IMDb.
Hands down. Best Robin Hood movie ever.
Let's see. IMDb rates that one a 6.7. Hold on. You know what? Now we're going to go off rails for a second because I want to see what's the highest rated Robin Hood movie.
Well, we can't go off rails for too long because Rob's got to go. Soon.
That's fine.
Not now, but soon.
I just want to see what the... real quick. So Robin Hood Men in Tights, 6.7. The 2018 was a 5.3, closing that one out. That one's no longer the winner. 2010 with Russell Crowe, 6.6. Men in Tights still holds the lead. The Adventures of Robin Hood in 1938, 7.9. That one's the highest one so far. The Story of Robin Hood from 1952, Disney's version, 6.7. Sorry, you lose. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, 1991 with Kevin Costner, has a 6.9 rating. Tom and Jerry, Robin Hood and His Merry Mouse in 2012, holds a 6.5. Robin and the Seven Hoods is a musical comedy with starring Frank Sinatra, is a 6.5. That one doesn't count. Robin Hood, 1991 British film, is 5.8. Robin Hood, 1973, where you have the little anthropomorphic fox dude, 7.6. So the highest rated Robin Hood is the original Robin Hood movie from 1938, which holds a 7.9.
Wait, what was the rating on the Kevin Costner one?
The Kevin Costner one was I think a 6.9.
All right.
What did Men in Tights get?
Men in Tights got a 6.7? Yeah, 6.7 on IMDb. and then the Robin Hood, the next highest rated one is the one with the fox from Disney.
Hell yeah.
Running around.
And the Rooster Bard who's telling the story.
Yeah. That's the next highest one at 7.6. So the highest rated Robin Hood in color is the Disney's Robin Hood where they're with the fox. That's the highest rated Robin Hood in color.
All right. I mean, hey, I'm not going to argue that. That was a dope-ass Robin Hood story.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the first Robin Hood story I ever saw.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really good. I don't know why. Oh, man, that brought that up. Now I kind of want to watch Kingdom of Heaven again. I love Kingdom of Heaven.
What's Kingdom of Heaven?
You never seen Kingdom of Heaven with Orlando Bloom?
I don't know.
So it's a 2005 movie, like really fucking long, like 3 hours long.
Post a picture of it in Discord.
Here. Here's the thing. I feel like you've probably seen this. Another one that's falls in the same boat as the King Arthur movies, the Three Musketeers.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one that falls in that same kind of category.
Yeah, I've only ever seen one Three Musketeers movie, and I think it had John Malkovich in it. Maybe.
Oh, I want to see the Three Musketeers movies.
And no, I don't think I've ever seen this movie.
That movie's a really good movie. It's a long ass movie. It's 3 hours long. It's a damn good movie though. My favorite Three Musketeers movie is the one in 1993. That was my favorite Three Musketeers movie.
I think I've only seen one Three Musketeers movie. I've heard the retelling of it so many times, though. Like, yeah, that's the thing. Is like with movies and stories and stuff like that. I feel like they can make those like really like, you know, blockbuster, flashy type movies that you know are just pure action movies.
Yeah, the one that I remember is this one. This is the one that I've remembered the most. Like I remember the most fondly, and I enjoyed the most on all.
Oh yeah, maybe that's the one that I watched because that guy on the right, I know him. Well, I know all of them, but
like that's the. I mean,
wasn't John Malkovich in that one? Was John Malkovich in that one?
John Malkovich was he in the?
He was like a pope or something. He was like a bad guy or something. I think I don't remember.
Then Iron Mask.
Oh, maybe it was Man in the Iron Mask.
He was in Man in the Iron Mask. He was in Man in the Iron Mask. He was Athos, which is also basically a Three Musketeers movie. So that I would say that that's a really good movie. I actually really like Man in the Iron Mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one was really good. I mean, but for me, that Three Musketeers movie is probably for me the best Three Musketeers movie.
But ultimately, what I was trying to say though is that the first transformation from book to either a TV series or a movie should be as close to the book as possible. Otherwise, I don't think that the movie or the TV series will succeed.
I agree. I think it should be, but I feel like when you have a classic story, I feel like we have two same conclusion, but two different stances. Like you're like, I think it should be adapted by the story the first time it's done. I think it should always.
Well, I'm not saying the first time and then it's done.
I think it should always be adapted by the story because you're selling people on that story. You're selling if I slapped Merlin, like the story of Merlin on a movie. You know, like Webby's like, oh shit, I like Merlin. I want to watch this movie. And Merlin's like in the movie, but then like I change everything about the movie. And you're like, this literally could have been called like Ass Dolph the Magician. It would have been this. It would have gotten the same thing.
I mean,
from this that Merlin or Ass Dolph the Magician.
Well, okay.
I mean, my D&D character name is going to be called Ass Dolph.
I get what you're saying, but like, okay, using Merlin as an example, the TV show. Okay, have you seen that before?
I have. Yeah.
Okay, I love that show. I think all the actors did phenomenally in that show, and I love the story. But that was also a very creatively liberated from any type of like historically told Merlin story.
I will give TV shows a pass though because they usually go on for so long.
Yes, True.
Yeah, I will give TV shows a pass because I feel like they have to drag shit out and change things and do things because it'll go on for so long. But when you have a movie,
now my thing with the movie is, I do think that they should keep. I will always want. Okay, so like Robin Hood and King Arthur, two of my favorite stories. Okay, like historical ones that have been passed down for a long time.
Beauty and the Beast.
So like, I will always go see a King Arthur or Robin Hood movie, especially if it holds true to what the actual story was. But every so often, I do think that they should just be able to come out with a movie that, like the Charlie Hunnam King Arthur. It's action-packed. It was very... It kept my interest because of everything that was happening, and it was just a different retelling of the King Arthur story. Like, they kept enough of the same things that I was like, okay, it's King Arthur, but they changed enough of it where it's like, well, they're definitely taking creative liberties. But don't get me wrong, that's not my favorite King Arthur movie, And if they made another one, say, next year, and it came out, and it was more, I'll say historically accurate, but more true to the telling of King Arthur, I would watch it, and I would probably love it. Because I love that story. But, I mean, every so often, you can't just expect, like, if there are 6 King Arthur stories in the last 60 years that have been turned into movies, and then every movie is pretty much the same because they're trying to retell it the exact same way.
Right. No, I understand that. I understand that. But my thing is when you change so much that it's basically unrecognizable to the name of the movie, and you're basically just using the name as a name of the movie.
No, I get.
Name of the property
I agree with you on
get
that.
People to come watch the movie.
No,
and I felt
agree
like
with you on that.
More recently, a lot of those same titles, like the Three Musketeers, the Three Musketeers, King Arthur, and Robin Hood. I feel like more recently, their most recent installments have been going that route, where they've been changing so much of the story. Like, yeah, you have these characters named the same, but they literally only share a name with the characters, and that's pretty much it.
Right. But I mean, like, for me, like, those types of things, it's all like, think of like some of your favorite film directors, right? It's like, okay, so you have like the historical retelling of like these stories that they've been put into movies. Like, I'm going to go back to King Arthur and Robin Hood, whatever. And, they're all being made by, say, like Stanley Kubrick. Okay? They're all as close to possible as they can with taking some creative liberties in the movie. And then every so often you toss in a Michael Bay King Arthur movie. It's like, okay, you know what you're getting when you see Michael Bay's name on a movie. There's going to be explosions happening and all sorts of crazy shit going on. But then, like, maybe you want to go back to your Stanley Kubrick, or hell, maybe you want a Quentin Tarantino version of Three Musketeers.
That would be, I would love the fuck out of that.
Yeah. That's the thing is, you need to
love the fuck out of that.
My big thing is,
but
like,
no. I get that, but it's a fine line though, right?
It is.
Like, I feel like it's a fine line. I feel like when you're just like selling a movie, like I go back to the most recent.
You can't have me watch Transformers and then show me that the lead character's name is King Arthur or Arthur. Whatever the fuck his name, Pendragon, and tell me that this is a King Arthur movie now. Like, I get it. You can't change 98% of the film.
Right, which I feel like in more recent years, that's the way it's been going. But I feel like if this is the thing, right? I feel like if like a Quentin Tarantino made a Three Musketeers movie, which now I want that more than anything in my life, I really honestly feel like it would be like Quentin Tarantino's Three Musketeers. Like, it would be that way. And you're like, okay, I know exactly what Quentin Tarantino does with movies. I know the style of this movie's going to go through. I still feel like the story's going to be not the same, but it's going to be resonant enough to the base story where it's like, okay, this hits all the high notes of that story. And it takes creative liberties here and there to kind of move the story along in the way they want it to move. But it's not the framework. The framework, that's kind of where it's at. I don't change the framework of a story. You're free to play as much as you want within the boundaries of the tale. But when you start, like, if your framework looks like a triangle, when you release the movie, you have a fucking pentagram. I have a problem with that. You know what I mean? Like, where it's like you've changed the framework at this point so much that it's almost unrecognizable outside of characters' names.
Right.
Well, one thing that they've been doing a lot lately that I actually like is taking peripheral characters from stories that are familiar and like putting them into the spotlight and changing their story a little bit, but it's okay because you don't really know a lot about their story.
Yeah,
like
that's fine. I don't care about that. Like, you find exactly
the one the Green Knight one we just saw and stuff like that, like where they're taking like minor characters and they're like, hey, look at this, and then they're like, she's interacting with Merlin and stuff like that. But it's like, okay, well, I mean, I don't know a lot about that character, but it's like still in the same universe as these other things.
Right.
I'm totally fine with that.
So with something like that, like what Devin's saying is you're starting with a square, and now you've changed it enough to where it's a circle, but it still fits in that square hole. You're not starting with a triangle and then changing it so much that now it's an octagon and there's no way in fuck it even fits. Like, I think that's what it still encapsulates. The likability of those movies and it draws the attention in is like, now you have these like we watched, I don't remember the name of that fucking thing, but we watched that movie or the Netflix series that was all about Nimue, which is in Arthurian legend. And I mean, they took creative liberties all through that movie too, or that show, but I still thought it was a fantastic show, and, what the fuck was that one called? Shit. I know Merlin was the crazy bald guy who ended up pulling Excalibur out of his side. Like, I don't remember the name of the show now. But yeah, ultimately what I want to see now is like a...
Cursed,
that's what it was, thank you. I want to see like a... Give me a name of like a good horror director. Like, was Wes Anderson a horror director?
Wes Anderson or Wes Craven?
Wes Craven.
Oh, Wes Craven is who I'm saying. Give me like a Wes Craven take on like Robin Hood, or I want to see I want to see one of these movies that is definitely not a horror movie get turned into a horror movie. I want to see how that would impact me.
I still really want to see a Quentin Tarantino Three Musketeers now.
Well, let's write.
I see that being amazing. Like, imagine like The Hateful Eight, but it's Three Musketeers. That seems amazing to me.
Those numbers are nowhere close to each other. They are 5 apart. Where'd the other 5 people go?
Well, they're not that far apart. If there are 4. If 7, 8, 9, then you can technically take 7 out of that equation and only 4 apart.
Oh, all right. And like Rob just said, there are technically 4 Musketeers. So
yes, if you include D'Artagnan.
Well, all right, Quentin Tarantino, if you're listening, we want a Three Musketeers movie from you. Those of you who are listening, forward this episode on with a timestamp and hashtag Quentin Tarantino in it, and maybe he'll listen. Probably not. Who knows? All right, but that's where we're going to wrap up because we're over an hour. So, Rob, do we have a science corner this week?
Sort of.
All right.
But I just going to say I now picture a Four Musketeer fight was stuck in the middle of you playing. But anyway, yeah, I was going to talk a little bit about the Metaverse. This
the what?
idea that
whoa, hang on there, Rob. Don't fucking enlighten everybody on the Metaverse, Rob. I'm still buying my NFTs in crypto. Don't do this yet.
I don't understand what's happening.
I don't need this to explode yet. I got to get it on the ground floor, and then you can make it explode, Rob.
We have like 20 listeners.
Fair.
Whoa. I mean, you're probably not wrong, but I love those 20 listeners, okay?
We all love those 20 listeners.
So, 20 or now you got me saying 20 listeners. The Metaverse, if you didn't see it, is Facebook founder, half robot guy.
What?
Why can't I think of his name?
We have half robots walking around?
Yeah.
Cyborg?
Devin, what the fuck is his name?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg, yes. Came
He's
out
a
with
robot?
this thing. Have you ever seen him speak to people?
No.
He's a lizard person.
I've never seen him actually. I've never seen a video of him. I've never seen him speak. I've only ever seen a picture of him.
He looks like he's pretending to be human in everything you ever see him in. It looks like he's not human and he's pretending to be. Like in this video about the Metaverse, for some reason he had barbecue sauce as a bookend, and everyone's like keeps making memes about it. They're like, what do humans have on their shelves? Barbecue sauce sounds about right. Anyway, so he's talking about this thing called the Metaverse, which is a lot like the either A, the Matrix, or B, the thing from Ready Player One. Can't for some reason I'm blanking on the name of it there, but basically he wants to drill holes in people's brains and put implants inside. So
you're talking about Mark Zuckerberg. Or you're talking about what you call it? Musk.
It's Facebook, whoever owns Facebook.
Yeah, that's Mark Zuckerberg. Elon Musk was talking about having neural implants too.
Yeah, they all, and Jeff Bezos too. They're all about the neural implants. But
I've said 1,000 times. Like I will say this publicly. I've said this privately. I've said this publicly. If they would like legitimately like write me a check and be like, we will send you money every year, I will be the first person to get a fucking supercomputer implanted in my brain.
I want to be a robot.
I don't care if it goes bad.
Yeah.
Give me a check that's like, all right, we will pay you $5 million a year or $20 million a year.
I don't even need that.
Input.
I don't even need that.
Just do it. Although, and then I've seen the movie Upgrade though, and the movie, like, it makes me second guess it, but I also kind of I wouldn't mind if the movie Upgrade happened to me, which is also a great movie.
So, okay, what are these implants supposed to do?
All right. Well, first of all, there's already like brain-machine interfaces that exist that don't have to go into your head. It says these brain-machine interfaces detect neural signals via external electrodes or optical sensors attached to the skull or other parts of the body, such as the eyes. Such interfaces can manipulate thought and with transcendental electromagnetic pulses. These non-invasive devices, however, are only crude mind reading and mind control abilities. Tech firms are investing in more ambitious interfaces that work via electrodes implanted directly into the brain through holes drilled in the skull. The devices can read signals from and transmit them to neurons directly, potentially enabling the kind of precise mind reading and control envisioned in the Matrix and other science fiction fantasies. Facebook has funded research on both non-invasive and invasive brain-machine interfaces. So basically, yeah, they're trying to get it so that you can do stuff with your brain, like, and then like put illusions into your head about like virtual reality and stuff. Basically, like the Ready Player One universe. But they already have brain implants that are supposed to do things that don't really work properly. Like there's implants designed to help treat depression and other mental disorders, and they don't, like, it says they haven't lived up to the hype. They don't work as well as they were like lauded that they would work. So if they can't even help like treat depression by releasing like stimulants and stuff in your brain, how are they going to be good enough to create detailed hallucinations and boost intelligence, memory, and cognitive capacity? So it's still quite a ways away, but this is something he was talking about recently, a thing called the Metaverse.
I'm willing to try it. Yeah, you write me a check every month. Yeah, hey, sign me up. I'll pretend I'm somewhere else.
But I mean, that's it. I was just reporting on that because it was recent, and I decided I should probably do some non-space sciencey stuff. So this one's a technology one. So we don't yet have the technology for the Ready Player One or the Matrix universe, but we're getting there, I guess.
All right.
Also, sidebar on the
Brain,
Matrix.
that's all.
Sidebar on the Matrix. That new Matrix trailer looks awesome.
I haven't seen it. I didn't even know they were making a new one.
They are making a new Matrix.
Oh, all right then.
With Keanu, it's awesome. It looks great. I can't wait.
All right. I still need to get Rob to watch John Wick.
Rob hasn't seen John Wick?
No, he won't get past the puppy death at the beginning.
Oh, wow. I need you to watch Polar as well.
Yeah, that's that other movie that you were telling us about with the sniper guy.
I don't know. He's got a sniper.
I thought that was the one with the train that went to see Santa Claus.
Oh, it's Polar Express.
No, Polar Express.
I want to send you off to go see Santa Claus.
Send you away on a long trip.
I will have you all know that Webby poked me several times in the ribs with a bat a few hours ago.
I didn't see it. I didn't have it.
That's true.
After beating my chair almost to death.
Shall I tell everybody why I did these things?
I mean, if you want to bring it up again, sure.
All right. Do we have life advice with Devin?
Yes, we do.
Is it going to help me out?
Yes, Webby, it will. I'm going to tailor this to you. Remember, Webby, always treat the outer self and the inner self like a duck in water. Calm above it, feet going crazy below it.
That is my life. Also, is that a screaming child in the background?
Yes.
I feel your pain.
Yes.
All right. Well, with that being said, that's it for us. Where can people find you on the interwebs there, Rob?
You can find me on Twitter at Confessor_X and on Twitch at twitch.tv/ConfessorX.
And where can people find you, Devin?
You guys can find me on Twitter at DMP_Pookie and on Twitch and Mr. D3 and then find me on eBay kicking my feet like a little duck.
Little Duck. And as always,
Little
everybody,
Duck.
you guys can follow me on Twitter at JaxForestWalker, all one word, on Twitch at DMWebby, and on eBay at Putting Me in the Matrix. Thank you for listening, everybody. We love you. Fuck Booster Gold.
Fuck Booster Gold.
No joke, though. If they wanted to pay me like a monthly thing and put me in like a hallucinatory matrix, I'm down.